it's been different, obviously, but moving in, having a good group of guys to come into really helped. But, just getting into the routine of a new school and everything. But other than that, it's just been about the same. It's definitely, you can definitely tell with the team that it could be a very special year. And I think if we can just put it all together and stay healthy, I mean, coming from Eastern Valley where we had a pretty good winning tradition going to the Dome and everything, I mean, you can just feel it with the team and everything. And I think you can definitely tell with our team this year. With small schools in Iowa, it's just the energy is always there. I feel like, especially with 8-man, I feel like it's just everybody's so much closer. Like they don't really. It's just I think it's a good energy, and I feel like our fans have traveled really well, especially to Central City, that was a long drive, but I feel like we got a good crowd out there. My favorite part's just been like hanging out with the team, because we try to go out and eat every once in a while. That's always fun. I feel like we just have a good team chemistry. I feel like we work well together, and I think it's fun, when you're at practice and stuff, and you can just feel that.
Two new teams in the top 5, heading into number 3, Winfield Mount Union, who also joins the top 5. Again, they beat Central City 44-36. Again, that was a matchup with 2 top 6 teams last week. And the Wolves took out the preseason number 2 Central City in a tight game. Cam Buffington, the Iowa commit, 194 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. I feel like we're going to be mentioning his name a lot on this channel throughout the season. Excited to follow him. He also had 3 receptions, and every one of them ended up in the end zone. So Cam Buffington going to be a tough man to stop, an 8-player at Winfield Mount Union. Cracks into the top 5 with Lennox and Cam.
Yeah, our kids were ready for this one. It was kind of a perfect storm for us. They're down a little bit. We're a pretty good team this year. And so, especially after the last couple of years, some things between the teams and things like that, our kids were ready for a big game against them. We knew we could get out and be explosive early, and our kids really took advantage of that. So, we didn't talk about it a ton during practice. We just talked about execution, and our kids understood that if they executed, it could get, could be kind of a lopsided affair.
Usually, I didn't really hear much about it. I don't get too much into that usually, but I obviously knew that, you guys are close enough. It's close, so you guys play about every sport probably, and it's a matchup. And I did hear about the last 3 years, the scores. Obviously you hear about that stuff, so. But I didn't look too much into it really.
Hello everybody, I'm Zachary Draves and welcome back to the TigerCast. Tonight we are back on the gridiron as the Tigers will take on the Wolves of Winfield Mount Union in their first home game of this season. The Tigers are coming off a 61-22 loss in their first game last Friday against Easton Valley, and though in defeat, they were able to showcase their ubiquitous running game on offense. In particular, it is the triple threat of Gavin Mankey-Bailey, Brigham Porter, and London Franklin. They made up a huge bulk of the yards generated by the Tigers last week, and this is expected to carry over not just for tonight, but for this season, considering how often the Tigers like to run with the ball.
And keep in mind, our goal, we want to be the most physical team in the district, right? That starts now. We have our first district game, right? We're putting pads through people. We're not grabbing, we're not leaving our feet, right? Run your shoulders through them and get that, right? We're done talking about it. Make sure we show it and prove it. Okay, offensively. Remember, I talked to some of you guys today, right? We're deleting spread snug jet. Okay, so that's good, right? I think we got a chance to air it out. Right? That being said, with that four-man line, if they go four against an empty, you got to give ground or find our hot right away. Okay, that means Cole or Lane or Eli. If that's you as the Y, you got to have your head on a swivel right away on the snap. Okay, so make sure we pay attention. Okay, guys, I think we can run. I think we can throw. Whatever it is, you know, that's going to be our balance, right? Is how we're going to be explosive. You got to take care of the ball, right? You got to make big plays when they're there. Okay, don't force it. Okay. We might be the more talented team, guys, right? But at the same time, you have to execute. Okay? That comes down to putting your pads through somebody on defense, making sure you do your job on specials, making sure you're going where you're supposed to go, the ball's delivered on time, we hold on to it, all those things on offense. Okay? You have a great opportunity, like Coach said, set yourself apart tonight in district play. Okay? Get yourselves to 1-0, right? Let's get closer to goal 1, district champ. Okay? And it starts tonight. Okay, it starts when we get out there, we get our pads on, we walk on that field to get through warm-up, we're dialed in. Okay, great things are going to happen tonight, bad things are going to happen tonight. Okay, wash it, get ready for the next great thing. Okay, like I told you, right, play up to your potential, okay, and we're going to be okay. Your potential, right, let's reach it tonight. Everything clicks, we look sharp, let's get back here and celebrate a win. Let's go, guys. Let's have
Hey, don't get down to their level. Mouth everything. How we play, everything, alright? Wolves on 3, 1, 2, 3. Wolves!
Yeah, I know.
All night. FSU on 3, 1, 2, 3. FSU!
He's got Cam Buffington wide open. Touchdown, Winfield Mount Union. 41 yards. Kind of running a post pattern. So
20 seconds of the game, maybe even less than that, and they already got on the board.
He's got a blocker. He breaks a tackle, and he's going to go to the house. Makes one man miss, and it's going to be a touchdown for Buffington.
Are so good, things are going well for the Wolves.
Right side of the field, makes a man miss. Still on his feet, he's at the 30. He's got open room to the 20, and Cole Milks is gone for a 40-yard touchdown run.
Evan runs with the ball, and he gets obliterated.
You know, as far as New London goes, with the first play, we had a gain of 12 to Abram. You know, we got exactly the look we thought we were going to get. We came back to a play very similar. With a lot of, same moving parts and things like that. And we got the look we thought we were going to get, with Cam streaking down the seam. So, those kind of set the tone. Plus the way the defense came out, the first series and, 2 negative rushes, that kind of deal. And our kids just playing fast and physical, right from the get-go. So, our kids were excited from the opening kick and they did a really good job.
At number 2, Winfield Mount Union. Another huge first quarter with Winfield putting up 42. They went up 72 points in the fourth quarter before New London put up a few to kind of make this a little bit more respectable. But Winfield Mount Union really with a convincing win with Cam Buffington and company over New London, so they will move up a spot.
The one thing I got upset about was when the kid got hurt. One of our kids was like, "Yeah, we hurt him," and I mean that's not what you want, right? Injuries, they're a part of football, and his injury was horrific. I mean, I've seen a picture of it; it's gross, and you feel bad for a young man, right? You don't want, potentially like a life-changing injury for a high school kid, and so that was one of the things that irritated me about our kids, and they were young kids, so they don't know what they don't know. As far as running the score up, we could have named our score. I think it was 42-0 at the end of the first quarter, 56 at half. And I think our kids understood that. And there's, like I said earlier, it's good to get your young kids some reps. There's no point in really embarrassing other kids. As far as a program, yeah. I mean, we remember some of the things they did in the past as far as score-wise goes, but a lot of these kids that are on the team now for both teams, they were a part of it. Like you said, it was your freshman year, so that we're talking 2018, right? Our seniors now in 2018 were still in junior high. And same with their seniors, right? They had nothing to do with it. So could we? Yeah. But what do we prove? Nothing. It's just there's a fine line, right? You want to be dominant, but at the same time, you don't want to portray. You don't want to be that team that scores 96 just because you can, right? We're not stat chasers, So our kids and all our kids aren't. They get that. So yeah, I mean, it's not at that point. It's not worth it to run it up that much. I mean, we talked about being explosive and scoring early and often, but we didn't want to. We don't need to score 100 points or anything like that. And the community members and things like that. Oh, I remember back. Yeah, I mean, I do. I remember back in like 2014 and 13. When we were able to put it on them. In 15, we put it on them. But we've struggled since 8-man. This is our first win against them in 8-man. So it was just good to get that win.
I think it's gone good. I think we're still working on just ironing out like small things, obviously, and I feel like we've been doing really good with the run game, and I think incorporating the pass game, especially against New London, really helped us. It just adds another wrinkle into our game to do better, but I feel like for a favorite highlight, it'd probably be, I don't know, any of our touchdowns probably.
And then did you cramp up Friday night too?
Yeah, both games. I think it's just the heat in the beginning of the season, just getting into the swing of everything. I mean, right now I'd say the heat has affected it, but I think we just need to keep drinking water, maybe eat some more pickles. I don't know, get something done. I don't know.
I mean, I think there's two different things, right? It's kind of a double-edged sword. We talked about it at halftime of the New London game that, being up big like that is good because you can rest your guys. But at the same time, they need to learn how to play full game, right? We're still pretty early in the year. So the extra reps, game speed conditioning things are a positive. So, it's nice to get a big win and be comfortable and get your guys out, late in the game. But at the same time, this coming week, it's not going to be the same thing. We got to be dialed in for full 4 quarters. So it's a positive in that your guys get some rest, and the young guys get some reps, game speed reps. But it's also a negative, and you aren't playing a full game and getting that extra conditioning.
In the run game up the middle against Central City, we struggled a little bit, but I think we bounced back really well against New London, and I think you can expect most of the same, being able to run whenever we want and pass too. I think we did pretty good against New London.
Heading into our top 5 for 8-man this week, Waco, a 3+ touchdown victory over a quality Iowa Valley moves Waco up a spot this week. Waco is 2-0 with 2 lower scoring wins compared to your average 8-man score, but they've actually played a fairly tough schedule with Fremont Mills and Iowa Valley. No rest as they travel to Winfield Mount Union next Friday. Again, Winfield Mount Union at number 2. So we got a top 5 matchup in Class 8-man in week 3 this week. That one's going to be a ton of fun.
Yeah, I mean, we'll find out here this week. Good week of prep. There's a lot going on. This is a pretty hyped up game. I would assume both teams are going to be rated in top 10 or even in top 5. You know, it's early in the season, so rankings don't really matter much. It's nice to be appreciated, but at the same time, you'd rather have those rankings in November. You know, they're coming off a really nice season, right? They made it to the championship game. They lost a lot of their main pieces, but there's still some kids back that played a significant role. So, you know, it's hard to tell. You know, they played a team from Southwest Iowa that we know nothing about. You know, and so you watch that game, and then they play Iowa Valley, who's in our district, but we don't know what Iowa Valley is. We know what they were last year, but we don't know what they look like this year. So, you know, and they made a big improvement from when we saw them in the scrimmage to week 1 to week 2. So the one thing we know is they're always going to be disciplined. They're going to play well. You know, I think our kids are also disciplined. You know, I think our kids are going to be hyped up and ready for it. You know, I think it's going to be the team that makes the least amount of mistakes is going to be the one that comes out on top. I think it's going to be a great game. You know, and I'm excited for our guys to have the experience. It's been close to a late season playoff atmosphere as you can get, you know, especially this early in the season. So, you know, I think our kids will have a good week. You know, we're going to have a good game plan going in. I think both teams will. And like I said, it would come down to execution and minimal mistakes. Yeah, I think it's just being able to play at home, right? We've been on the road. Gosh, it feels like forever, right? We ended the season on the road last year, and I think even our last game of the regular season was on the road last year. You know, so it's been a while since we played here in Winfield. So anytime it's the first home game, right? The community, you know, the school, everybody's excited about it. But, you know, it shouldn't change what happens between the white lines. You know what I mean? You know, everybody's super amped up. You know, can you get through that initial adrenaline and get into your second wind faster than the other team is where it's going to be, you know. So it'll be exciting, you know, with all the other stuff going on, and it's going to be a huge crowd. But, you know, I think it's just going to be a really fun atmosphere for our kids. It's going to be cool, right? We're going to honor our service people, both men and women that have served and are currently serving. And, you know, I think it's important for kids to understand that there's more to life than high school football and living in small towns like Winfield and Wayland. You know, so it'll be nice to honor those, you know, Cody Van Tiger, you know, stepping up and really doing a nice job for our kids. And they do a great job of helping our kids out all the time and doing a lot of nice things for our program. So we're pretty excited about it. And, you know, it's just one of those things that happens to fall on a really big game. You know, hopefully it doesn't distract and do those kind of things. So, you know, I just think it's going to be a cool experience for our kids. You know, there's not going to be like tanks or helicopters or anything. That'd be really cool, but I don't think we'll have that.
So once again, tune in next week as the Wolves have their home opener against Waco.
When you put on these colors, there's an animal inside that is awakened.
Fires deep down. He's got Cam Buffington wide open. Touchdown, Winfield Mount Union. 41 yards. Kind of running a post.
These colors mean more than just yourself. They represent pride and honor.
20 seconds of the game, maybe even less than that, and they already got on the board.
When you see these colors, you better be ready for a knockout, drag-out, four-quarter fight.
Are so good, things are going well for the Wolves.
A Friday night in Winfield is like no other, and when you add a night like this, it's going to be something special.
He's got the corner turned. There's nothing but green in front of him.
And it will fall just right at the 25. The ball gets loose. Who got it?
So all through the air so far for Winfield. Nothing on the ground. Haven't even had a guy in the backfield.
Gavin runs with the ball, and he gets obliterated just right shy of the 35-yard line. Here's the punt. Good kick. And it will be caught by Milks as he's running. You do the honors, Kent.
He's got space to the 20, gets a block, and he's going to, nope. Get to Milks on the right side of the field, makes a man miss, still on his feet. He's to the 30, he's got open room to the 20, and Cole Milks is gone for a 40-yard touchdown run.
We are in week 3 of high school football in Iowa, but tonight it feels like there's a little more on the line as number 5 Winfield Mount Union hosts number 2 Waco.
Big players, big plays, big game. Okay? Nothing bigger than right now. Okay? Be a big player for us. Make a big play, whether it's offense, defense, special teams. Do your assignment. Do extraordinary well up to the highest potential that you can play at. Right? And we'll get our ass up here and we'll celebrate a victory. Get yourself ready. Go! Yeah, let's go! Put someone in the mouth. Let's go. Wolves on 3, 1, 2, 3. Whoa!
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands.
Mount Union with their traditional black pants, red stripe down the side, red helmets, but a little bit different look in the jerseys tonight. Winfield Mount Union is wearing the Iowa Army National Guard camouflage jersey as it is Military Appreciation Night.
Hope they won't shoot me down.
Light these motherfuckers up tonight, all right? Let's go. Behavior at our activities. Please encourage players. For yourself, play for everybody who wants you. Get on your feet, put your hands together. Get yourself up. Let's go. Hi! Let's go!
Mount Union from the 25-yard line approaches and tries for the onside. It's off a Waco player and Winfield Mount Union recovers. Quite the turn of events following the kickoff out of bounds. Waco has the Wolves re-kick. Short kick bounced off the Warriors right into the hands of Winfield. And it's going to be the Wolves who start on offense. And right. It's going to be a give on the ground for the first play. That's Cam Buffington powering his way past the 40-yard line for a first down. Snap. He's going to take off himself inside the 30, inside the 20. Barrels over a Waco defender on his way out of Sparrow approaches and he's going to kick it into the short side of the field near the 20-yard line. The ball's free again. Waco players think they have it, and they do.
Yeah, Winfield recovers that as Waco is unable to get on top of it. Another well-placed onside kick by the sophomore, Nicholas Sparrow.
Buffington this time bounces outside. He's got room. Look out. There goes Cam Buffington straight into the end zone. Touchdown, Wolves. Coach, coming into tonight, Waco had 407 rush yards. Unofficially, I have you holding them to 21. So not just the fact that you come away with a victory tonight, but it seems like you answered a lot of questions. If there was anybody wondering, can Winfield Mount Union compete at a level like we've seen from Waco, who, as we know, runner-up last year?
Yeah, and I think that's incredible, right? That's a testament to our boys. You know, Waco runs that guard over stuff, and they do a really good job of blocking, and their running backs do a really good job at, hitting where it's open. And so for our boys, that means they did a really good job of doing what they're supposed to do and playing within themselves and the rules of our defense. So, I'm amazed by that. But that's who Waco was last year. And by watching them and playing against them last year, and they make it to where you want to go. Our kids did a good job in the offseason to put ourselves in that position to be a team like that this year.
Getting two kickoff fumble recoveries, that was really big. It kind of slowed their momentum down and pushed ours really quick. And it really just helped set the tone for the game for us.
Yeah, well, it was a crazy atmosphere for it's supposed to be high school football, but I loved it. It wasn't a pretty game for sure. I think we threw one pick, 2 fumbles. I dropped probably 2 or 3 passes. Carter dropped a pass or 2. It was just not clean at all, but Cole made a really spectacular one-handed catch. Yeah, and then Cam had, you know, his big runs that he has every game, so those really helped us. And then the 2 onside kicks to open up the game were huge that we recovered. So.
Cole's one-handed catch, that was sick. I don't know how he caught it, but call him Odell Beckham now. Josh Jackson for Iowa.
Well, from this season, it's got to be Cole Milk's one-handed interception. Great interception. And then to have the ability to return it 20 or 30 or 40 yards or whatever it was. Great play.
Well, we were playing zone, and the tight end came up, and he ran in, so I yelled in, and the tight end from the other side came across, and the quarterback rolled out to the opposite side and thought, oh, my tight end on the backside is open. And all I knew was I saw the ball go up, and I had the tight end pushing up on me. All I knew was I jumped up, and as I was jumping up, I was able to watch the ball. As I caught it, I had my arm against the tight end so I could have a brace, and as soon as I hit the ground, it was, oh, I gotta keep going.
I think we got to talk about that Colt Milks interception. How incredible was that?
Right? Da-da-da, da-da-da. There's a sports center moment there for, hopefully you painted a great picture of it, right? But he went up, right, just caught the point and brought it down and then got a nice return out of it, you know. So he had one last week too that he picked out of the air that hopefully teams decide they aren't going to stop throwing it on number 11, but he did a really good job. Dynamic play, right? Dynamic play. So we're super excited for him and proud of him.
It feels pretty good because most kids don't get that, but it's just another play, honestly. It's really one to be excited about, but at one point you just have to throw it behind because otherwise you're going to get caught up on it and then you're not going to perform at your best.
And at number 2, Winfield Mount Union. They won the battle of top 5 teams with Winfield Mount Union and Waco last week as Winfield Mount Union won that thing 34-8. Really low scoring game for a 8-player contest, but I think that just proves how competitive it was, back and forth, just teams battling out. And Cam Buffington, the star for Winfield Mount Union, the Iowa commit, led the way with 3 rushing touchdowns. But Abram Edwards got in on the fun too, tacking on 2 rushing touchdowns as Winfield Mount Union controlled Waco in that battle of top 5 teams. I mean, Winfield Mount Union at the number 2 spot, beating number 5. There's just nowhere for them to go right now because of the number 1 team, Gladbrook, Ryan Baker.
I think it shows everyone that we are a legit team. You know, we're not just playing a bunch of scrubs that shouldn't really be, you know, in the conversation for top teams. But we go out and beat a top team like Waco. Now everyone has to kind of give us our respect. I think it means a lot. You know, we've shown that we are only, you know, we can beat teams not only by running the ball but also by passing. You know, defensive-wise, we're really good at stopping the run, which forces people to pass the ball, but our DBs and corners are more than capable of guarding anyone they're up against. Then our D-line gets pressure. Then we have Cam, who, you know, just does his insane plays. So I think we're in a good spot.
I had this marked on my calendar for a while, you know, haven't beat them in a while, you know, and it just made it to the Dome last year, but I know they lost a few people, but, you know, coming in ranked top 5, it's always nice to beat a ranked team like that. And I think just super proud of the team, how they played, you know, people stepping up. And yeah, super excited.
Let's go! Hey! Hey! 1, 2, 3. That's 3 wins. Come on now. I have my circle trick.
What the hell? Hell of a way to start the game, right? You get those 2 onside, freaking slip momentum so much, you don't know what the hell happened to them, okay? We gotta have that every week, okay? Find the different spots to put it at. Great job. That's the way to get things rolling for you.
We spoke earlier this week about the just overall vibes that were going to be here at Winfield on game day. Did it live up to your expectations?
You know, when the game starts, I don't really turn around. So I saw at halftime there was a lot of people. I get pretty zoned in, you know, so it looked awesome. Right? There were people. I got here at 4:45 for our game, and Waco had a couple people here already. You know, so that was pretty cool. But you know, just this is what you want for high school football, right? Whether you're in or however big you are, you know, just to have an energetic crowd there to support you from the community and things like that. It was a great experience for a young man.
Coach, I want to make sure I give you some time to celebrate this one. So as we start to wrap up, what did you learn about your team today from that performance?
Yeah, I mean, the physicality, you know, it's just, I'm super proud of how they played, how disciplined they stayed, and then, you know, we kind of bent sometimes and we didn't break. You know, I'll have to look at the fourth down numbers and see where we were at in fourth down conversions, but, you know, I just was really proud of how we can just shut things down. You know, and step up and make a play. You know, they had a screen pass set up here late in the game, and as they throw it, I'm going, oh my goodness, no, right? And then 33 closes out of nowhere, and we get a fourth and stop there. So, you know, just I think we got to stay disciplined. You know, we got to stay within ourselves and start, you know, just next game, next play mentality.
Speaking of next game, next week you are at Montezuma.